What's good, Joe? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Tokyo Urie. First of all, apologies for the delay of this review. Homework, school got in the way, so I had to delay it. So I apologize for that. But that next episode, preview thoughts, where it looks like they're pretty much just gonna go through all of the major token focused chapters when I started reading the manga. So next week, that's when we're getting the material that I've actually read, and this is where where I actually kind of become a little bit of a manga reader, so I'll know what happens and I'll see some stuff. So that should be interesting. See if then I'll be like, oh yeah, this is fucking terrible, like Chibi does. You know, the man finally broke radio silence on this series. He made a whole video about. Oh yeah, okay, about how Funimation, which you guys know is licensing the series and dubbing it. I've been slack on the dub. I definitely am looking forward to seeing when this episode does get dubbed, because I love this episode and I can't wait to see what the guys at Funimation can do, what the English cast can do with this episode, because you guys know how much I love Funimation. They're dubbed TG, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. Anyway, but they said they're gonna make a live stream pretty much explaining to relieve all confusion about this series. If I had to guess, they're most likely talking about what happens through volumes 8 through 14 that Urie cut out. That's what I'm assuming is happening. Because I doubt they're gonna go with okay, here's everything that happened in there and all the stuff that was cut out of Re. But she was like, oh yeah, this arc, yeah, you can tell it's not terrible because people are, this Funimation going out of the way to do this. I'm like, dude, Urie kind of I don't know how far they're going into it. I'll probably watch the live stream just for the lulls, whenever it airs. I don't know if it's out yet or not. But anyway, so and also apparently Dr. Stone is getting the anime announcement, so yay for that one. I've heard a lot of great things about this series, so I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. It's definitely been making its rounds and definitely making some headway here in the anime community. Heard about it, but I'll probably not end up reviewing it like Promised Neverland, but I'll definitely watch it when it airs. I'm still waiting on that Black Torch anime, though. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So, it looks like we're gonna get the token chapters. This is where it looks like we're gonna get through all the chapters that I read to where I stopped reading to when it kind of came back because of when it was revealed who the Scarecrow was, and I was like, wait, what? Okay, and then I went back and read that chapter, and then I kind of read a couple extra chapters after that. Or maybe it was, no, I forget the exact time, but maybe it was after I or I stopped reading them on because I knew shit. It was right when we saw seeing the first episode, it was pretty much around that time when I did okay, shit is about to hit the fan, so I'll stop reading here. I forget, so it was around that time, I forget whether or not the Scarecrow was revealed before or after that. Anyway, so anyway, like I said, this is where we're gonna, and it looks like they might actually do chapter 135, because I see this room. It's very grimy, it's stingy, doesn't have any furniture. I recognize that wall. I recognize that floor. I don't want to get my hopes up because I would be surprised if they show just to see a shot here, a shot there, just to show us that yes, it happened. But I'm still going to just not expect it and cross my fingers and just hope that happens. I'm not expecting it, but I hope to God we do get to see. If Attack on Titan can get away with showing of Rod's Titan form, if Witsuits can get away with that, then Studio Paradox should be able to get away with that beautiful moment between Toka and Kaneki next week. So yeah, that should be interesting. I might even do a react to that episode just because I've actually read those chapters, and I might do a react to that episode. I won't lie. I might do it next week. Anyway. So enough jibba jabba. Let us get to this week's episode of TG. So we started off. We got the dude that he was always in the helicopter that would look over the operation when they were happening back in the first half of Re. But then we just see him play, chess with himself, where then he just starts laughing, and the range of his laughter goes higher in pitch. It bounces between pitches. I don't know if they use a voice synthesizer to get it to where, because sometimes they got really high, and when it got really high, I don't know if they would use a voice synthesizer, did some voice editing in the editing room, or the dude that got, or the actual voice actor dude could actually bounce between those ranges. If he can, give that man a fucking raise, because there's no way in hell I could do that. That takes some true skill, my brother. So Anyway, after that, so where we see Mutsuki. Now we don't really know what Mutsuki would happen with Mutsuki in that cave exactly. We don't know what happened. Well, we get little bits and pieces, so they started off with Mutsuki just remembering some events which he had with Heise, when they first met, and a couple other moments. We then get over to the actual cave where she's, I'm assuming, stabbing Torso. We still don't know what happened in here. I don't think we'll ever know. Maybe in the manga it gets elaborated on. We have to see everything that went down or not. But whatever the case may be, we see her. I'm assuming stabbing Torso, where she says, "I love Sensei." And we then see him, I should say, carrying this head. I think it's a head, maybe it's something else. I don't know, with a knife stuck into it. You can't really tell with the lighting, so maybe it's Torso's decapitated head. Puts it down, and he says, "I'm embarrassingly such a woman." Yeah. Now don't get this twisted, guys. Mutsuki isn't a trap. He isn't, because if you may have noticed, in the first half, you saw some subtle hints about this, that he's actually trans. Yeah, Mutsuki's actually trans. Yeah, so he's not, well, maybe, I guess, I don't know if that technically makes him a trap or not, but whatever the case may be, he's not a trap. He's transgender, actually. And you could have seen subtle hints that, even though Perry had never really explicitly mentioned it, like the manga did early on, that you could still see some subtle hints from Urie and some other moments. But the manga was like a very more blatant, there were some panels here and there that pretty much explained, yeah, he's indeed a woman, or that he's indeed transgender. You can go back and watch Chibi's review of that episode. I forget which one it was, but you can go back there to see the panels and everything else. And I was actually really surprised actually, because it seemed like Perry was kind of gonna sweep that under the rug, being like, "Yep, this caused way too much controversy when that happened." Because apparently, I've seen the manga this happened. There was a huge flame war about this. Because in RPG's manga video, he did a whole video of of the fandom files on TG, and he talked about this moment with Mutsuki that would cause a huge flame war. So I thought Perry was like, "Oh yeah, we don't need a repeat of that." Or maybe they just didn't want to put that in there for whatever reason. But I am glad that Perry did put it back in there and does explain that yes, Mutsuki is indeed a woman, or is a man, or is transgender. I don't so that's probably so. And you could have also told by how me and Chibi were constantly shifting between pronouns when we were talking about Mutsuki. Sometimes I'd say he, but then other times I say she, and I thought Chibi did the same thing. So yeah, so you could have noticed little subtle hints here and there. So I did like that Para did bring this back in there. If you have to read the manga of Ri, or at least that part with the whole stuff with Mutsuki, transgender and everything, I am glad that Para did put that back in there, because I'm definitely curious how that happened with all the manga and everything. So yeah. Anyway, so that was a nice little touch-up that they added, that they put in there. So it seems like Mutsuki got a thing for our boy Kaneki, or I guess Heise, technically, but he's kind of dead, so I guess he also has a crush on Kaneki. Now, from what I've read TG, this goes absolutely nowhere. This never really gets brought up. Well, great, I never read any chapters with Mutsuki in them, so maybe it goes somewhere around the end of the manga, and because of some of the stuff I've seen, so maybe somehow the anime this kind of comes back, or this will never get brought up again. Whatever the case may be, and it looks like Mutsuki, when Urie does come over there and rescue him. I don't know. I don't even know what pronouns I should use when I'm talking about this dude. Anyway, so when he rescues him, she at first thinks it's Heise, but then it's actually just a boy Urie. We then get over to her in this hospital bed, which I can't tell. Did her hair go gray? Most of it go gray on the top. Or was that just the lighting? Because it looked like most of her hair went gray. I'm guessing from whatever the hell went down that cave. And he says, why didn't you save me? Why didn't you save me, Sensei or Heise? And you got our boy Urie chilling by the door, We see some flowers in the trash can, so maybe those were Urie's. They was gonna give it to Mutsuki, but that kind of blew up in his face, I guess. We then head over. We also see some other people visiting other people in the hospital beds. We see this other guy. I do not recognize any of these characters in this one bed. We then get over back to our boy Suzuya, to Juzo, where he's visiting Shinohara because their connection and everything. Which I won't lie, guys. I am now me personally. Well, I still will always defend the TG anime. Because for one, I did watch it first before I read the manga, and even then, after I was rereading while I was reading the manga, while I was rewatching it when they aired on Toonami, I still fucking love the anime. So I will always defend the anime till the day I die. Is the manga far superior? Yes, but I still think the anime is fucking phenomenal on its own. I'm not one of the people that says, "Oh, you don't adapt the manga with 200,000%." Well, then fuck you. You're fucking terrible. If you're good on your own, because we've seen that. Sometimes we've seen movies that adapt anime series or manga series, kind of pretty much just change huge chunks of the manga, and they become a huge success. Look at that tomorrow. That movie changed a lot of what happened in the manga. All you need is kill, and look what happened. Everybody fucking loved it. TG is the same thing. Am I against seeing an anime that's like 24 episodes long that focuses just on the first half of TG, done by Wit Studios or Madhouse that perfectly adapts the manga and maybe adds to it? Yeah, I'm game for that. I would love to see that. I would love for more people to see the true beauty of TG, and because most people probably wouldn't read the manga because, oh, it's manga, I'd rather watch the anime. I'm all for more people experiencing what makes TG so fucking special and so fucking awesome. Like I said, I love the anime, but I do love the manga way more. Just Ashida, oh my god, this man is a god. I mean, I just love Ashida, and I'm all for. I'm all for. So this one day we do get another TG anime done by Wit Studios or Madhouse or Studio Bones that does perfectly adapt manga. I will be completely for it. I'll be like, hell yeah, finally, more people get to experience the manga and see why the manga is so fucking spectacular. That is what I'm seeing. But I'm not gonna come over here and bitch and moan about Paragon because I love this show. So enough of that little tirade. I understand why people don't like the anime TG from manga readers, but I feel like this anime gets a little too much hate, in my personal opinion, anyway. So, as I was saying. So Jutsu, he's just watching it over Shinohara, and this dude asks why do you have the One-Eyed King on your mind so much? And he says, it seems like he would be really strong. And he just asks him are you willing to kill Heisei or Kaneki now? And he said that Heisei was his friend. He would always bring him candy, which we saw a couple times in the anime. That he even said he made me delicious pudding on my birthday. But he says that some things take priority, which I'm assuming what he means by that. If the occasion arrived where say he was face to face with Kaneki and he had to kill him, it seems like Juzu would be willing and able to just do the deed and kill Kaneki if he had to. If he was ordered to kill Kaneki and it was sitting right in front of them, they had a duel, it seems like Juzu would go around and just do it. And hopefully Kaneki can strong enough and get outsmart enough to make sure he still survives. So that's what I'm thinking. So that's what I'm seeing means by that. We then get back to Psycho, which Psycho, she was a highlight of this house. This episode was her episode. Oh my god, her voice actor just did a phenomenal job across the board. Anyway, we then see Urie, he's about to leave. Psycho asks him hi, how is Mutsuki doing? He just shakes his head, and Psycho asks him hey, you think Mom Man? I don't know why she calls Kaneki that. I don't know. Maybe in the manga it makes a lot more sense. I don't know, because I know they cut out her Psycho's backstory in that, so maybe it makes sense then. But either way, he asked him if Kaneki did kill Arima, and Urie says don't let personal matters get in the way of this. And we then see these ghouls. We then see the CCG of watching the footage that we saw Toka and the others watch last week of that bill that was smoking. But we see who caused it. It was the clowns with... Okay, if there's one thing that I'm just completely lost on, that even in the manga hasn't even gotten explained it is why the hell is Uta helping out these guys? Because from what we've seen in the manga, it seems like Uta's on Kanagi's side. Because, from the way he would always, from the times he would help out with, of course, making Toka's mask, helping out with the guys on Teiku, him and his relationship with Yomo and everything. It seems like he's on Kanagi's side, but yet he's doing this stuff. So, I mean, maybe he never was on their side, and he was just kind of more like neutral, and he just happened to seem like he was on their side. I don't know, because in the manga it doesn't really even explain what the hell's going on. Maybe in the re-manga it makes more sense, but I don't know. That's like the one thing that I'm just completely lost on is like, what the hell is Uta? Why is Uta with them and not helping out Toka? Like, why is he helping out with Fruta and not helping out with Yomo and Toka? I don't know. There's one thing I'm lost on. It's that. But I don't even know if that even gets explained in the manga. Anyway, so from there we then head over to Fruta. He is now playing chess. I don't know what this episode's obsession with chess is. Maybe it's symbolism or something. I don't know. Anyway, we then get back to Fruta, where we find out that that he is that he's pretty much the new director of the CCG, because he's related to the previous, I guess, director, because he's related to the Washu clan, and so he's and he says that that the next target for the clowns is going to be the headquarters. And they're like, okay, let's raise the security on the headquarters. It's like, oh no. That's probably what they expect us to do. So he says, keep our security keep our security where they are with in the different ward, but we'll need one person to just be our headline, to be our main guy to defend the actual headquarters. And he says, Arima. And the other guy, the dude with the blue hair, says, dude, Arima's dead. He's like, yes, you were right. So we'll need someone to become the next Arima, which he picks Juzo. Which makes perfect sense, because we know both him and Juzo. Well, Arima, I think, is actually like a half-ghoul, but he just doesn't have a Kagane. But we know that, so, for one, they both have had pretty much most of their life, they have been surrounded by ghouls, which we've seen from Arima, from the little backstory he gave us, last week, and probably some stuff that happens to Tokyo Ghoul Jack, if any of you guys actually watched that. Juzo, we know he lived most of his time with Mama, of course, other crazy shit happened there, and of course, with the whole little matches he would have, killing other guys. He and both of them are supreme fighters in the CCG. Some of the best. Both of them pretty much keep to themselves and are. I wouldn't say. Well, Juzu, you could definitely say, is antisocial. Anima probably just keeps to himself. And both of them are definitely guys that work in the shadows and aren't all about, that don't really aren't they aren't when you think they aren't the most popular guys in the CCG. They're definitely more they're the pretty much good guys, but probably not everyone agrees with them, or stuff of that stuff. So it makes sense why Fruta would pick Yuzu, just because they have pretty much have a lot of similarities from just their upbringings to just their overall personalities and fighting styles. So that was actually a pretty cool show. So I actually did. I was like, yeah, that makes sense for me, Fruta. And Juzu was like, okay, I'll take any order you give me, dude. All right. So then we head over to these multiple different wards, where we first head up to the ninth ward, this little festival area. I forget what these called. It's pretty these little market areas where you see a bunch of places that are selling food. I forget what these places are called, but there's a bunch of food places just in this little area. And we see the clouds come over there handing people balloons. Or one of the clouds hands a person a balloon, and he just leaves, and then boom! They will see a bunch of explosions from balloons just going off. And I love when the chaos started, when people started running away. One of the clowns just tapped one of the dudes on the shoulder and was just holding the balloon, and then just blew up. And the dude did not move. He did not run. He just stood there. I found that hilarious. Anyway, so then we head over to different wards to see the clowns taking over different wards. We head over to the second ward, the 11th ward, I think, was another one. We head over to So Urie taking care of the second ward. We got the other two on the other wards and the other ward. They end up calling into like, it's chaos here. We're doing pretty good here. We're doing fine here. Yada 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 yada. We then see that Juzu is heading over with handling the bridge to take out the clowns that are coming over from the headquarters, and Fruta tells him, Juzu, take him out with your, fight and defend this with your life. He says, defend it with my life? I don't gotta kill him, right? And after he just slices down a bunch of them, he says, yeah, please kill him. I love Fruta. Even though he can be very serious, I just think the way he's just so comedic at times with what we have seen in previous episodes, I find it hilarious how and it was nice seeing this comedy side of him. I always find it so kind of funny. Anyway, we see him take care. We then hover back to to Urie. And I like when Urie and Psycho and the rest of the Quinks were taking out the guys. Psycho talked to one of the guys and she said, "Hey, look at that sexy bodysuit, battle suit." He says, "Really?" I love Psycho. Man, it really seems like she's gotten a lot of growth since we last saw her in season 1, which is nice to see. Urie notices this figure in the distance on this rooftop. He says, "You guys can take care of this. I gotta take care of this." So he heads over these stairs, where we then see him. He meets up, and oh my god, I love to see just the overall atmosphere. Para, y'all did an amazing job here, where we see him, the priest, which is his name or ghoul name or his just his alias, I guess, in the CCG. You guys know the guy that was the priest. That raised Kotorama, yada yada. You guys already know that. So he's like hello. He calls him a little kid, and then Alex says, don't let your guard down or you'll die. And I love when you see the lights kind of flicker on and off. But I noticed the lights are off. The little I guess crease, the little lines there, where his eyes would be, they glow when the lights were off and they were flickering. I thought that was a really nice touch from his. That's all from his ghoul. I thought that was a really nice touch from Period to have a little glow come out of them in the dark. I thought that was a great touch from Period. So we see them going out. Urie's princess deflecting before he ends up just disappearing, and he ends up grabbing him with his Kagane and throwing him on top of the roof, where he just got sit there. We then hover back to Juzu. He's taking care of the guys. He's like, this doesn't feel right. And one of the other guys says, "You see it too, don't you?" He's like, "Yep." Slices one of the dude's masks up, where we find that it's indeed just for normal humans. They were actually using humans as meat shields, but they had their mouth sewed closed. And the dude's actually crying, and he's like, "Yep, they're humans." And so then we see Uta come in there, take out one of the guys, just throw his Kagane through him, and Palin him, comes out there, and we see that his ghoul name is, or his alias is, No Face. For a guy where his job is to make masks for other ghouls, No Face is quite the appropriate name for him. I see you, Street, on that one. I see you. I really think his mask design doesn't really have much to it. It's more or less I don't even know how to describe it. I like the design of it. It definitely has. You can definitely tell Uta made it. It's definitely something that Uta made. And so they were fine for a bit. Actually, Juzu wasn't much of a fight. Juzu pretty much just owned Uta quickly. He jumped off the little land. What are those things? Those huge lamps on highways and everything that light up the road. He jumped off of them. Juzu was spinning a knife in his hand, landed right into Uta's throat, right when he landed. And then he turns around. We see that's actually Shinohara. Same outfit as Juzu, not Juzu, as Uta. So if I had to guess, judging from his mask, it looks like his mask can project other people's faces on it. It looks like, or maybe this because he said one of the dudes, because after they kind of have a little bit of a little touching moment and everything, where he's and she's like Shinohara, and he says, hugs him, don't push yourself so hard, and then we see Uta's Kagane kind of come out ready to just impale Juzu. One of the guys comes in there, slices his face, or he then leaves. He says, "It was an illusion, so I cut through it." So, can his mask project other face on? But how is that possible? Because it's a 1-to-1 replica of Shinohara's face. and his hair too. So I don't know how that. I don't know if that was his mask or Juicer was just hallucinating or something. I don't know. Anyway, we then head over back to Urie, where was this the highlight of the episode for me? So we get back to our boy Urie. He's still hung up on the wall, on the ceiling. The priest comes out, shows off his face. He says, the investigator that did me in, that put me in there was, I forget his exact name. It was like Misato. It was something along those lines. Urie, your father. We then get this little flashback when Urie was a kid, hugging his dad, being like, when I grow up, I want to be investigating just like you, Dad. No, I hope we work some cases together then, son. That kind of stuff. He said, and this is all Urie needs to just get out of there. And so he's going at but the pretty is just dodging him like there's nothing wrong with Moots. He's just pretty much swinging around as he's just trying to get in his head, being like, that. He manages to counter, grabs him by the throat, slams him against the wall, says, "What, did you want to get noticed by your daddy? Did you want him to congratulate you and pat you on the head?" And just, throws him, then he, grabs him, but, he, pushes him against one, just, and then just had him go through, 5 windows, threw him to the ground, then Psycho sees, so she makes her way up there. It says, the one you loathe was your dad. You loathe the weak. He says, "You're wrong. You're wrong." And then his other eye goes ghoulsify, and then he just impales him. He says, "You don't gotta get so upset." And he fades away. We found that the dude just did some force projection Luke Skywalker shit. When he comes back, he's like, "Oh, looks like I lost a finger." And then this Connery pops out of his lower back. Now I don't know if this is technically a Kaguya, because he gets a mask, and we've seen that it looks like when you get Kaguya you get a mask. We saw this with Kaneki when he got his mask in Route A and as well in the manga. So, and we see both his eyes are ghoulified, and I love his design. Ashida did such an amazing job. I love that, his face is kind of in this, smile. It reminds me a lot of the Joker from the New 52, when, he cut his face open, where he cut his face off and wore as a mask, and he had kind of this permanent smile thing going on. It looked great. And so it kind of had that similar kind of smile, which I loved. And Ashida did an amazing job with his overall design. So, but now, and Psycho says that he's framing out. But I don't know if that technically means, yes, he is going Kaguya, but because I don't think it is. Because if you get a Kaguya, that means that pretty much means you're a cannibal. You eat a lot of ghouls. It's because the axis of RC cells, they seek release. So, and we don't really see Urie and his guys, feasting on ghouls. So I don't know if this is a Kaguya or if it's just just his Kagane on Berserk mode. Because Kagane going Berserk. We then had this little flashback to where Urie is explaining, about what we're saying about something oh, hey, what happens if we frame it? It says, we will be considered S-rated ghouls and then be exterminated. And so you got the other guys being like, well, we got, not Shinohara. The dude is slipping my mind. The guy that, the dude with the blonde hair, that, his sister and everything. His name is slipping my mind. I'm terrible with names. He says, man, I hate if I was done in by one of you guys. And Urie says, oh yeah, as long as something, that only happens when something Jurassic happens. So most of the time, you will be good and you won't have to worry about framing out. Whether that means you get a Kaguya, because I think this is a Kaguya, it looks like a Kaguya form, but I don't know. Just from the way he's kind of covered in armor, he has a mask. But we don't see Urie kind of unless he just has an extra mouth of RC stealth and the different frames that they have just keeps them in check. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, we see he's just going crazy. Psycho's in front of him, and she says, "I don't want to lose anybody else." Ghoulifies, then we see her cocking it. It looks like her cocking is multi-purpose, because we've seen her use it as a mallet, But we also see she has she does like this pose, and a bunch of hands come out, and she straight up goes into her inner JoJo, which I actually posted a whole video about this, little like I guess meme about it, about her going into her inner JoJo. It's up on the channel, it's up on my Twitter. I'll probably put it up in the iCards above if I remember to. So if you want to see that, definitely go check it out. It's pretty funny. Seeing it with like the JoJo auras. So check it out if you're curious. Anyway, so she's just going through going punching him like crazy, just like first of all, and also the voice is from Urie, and she's like, please, somebody help me. Yeah, that was just phenomenal. Great voice acting from that. Anyway, so they go at it. Saigo's trying to convince him, trying to get him out of here. They go now, and he says, and I like when she says, after she done punching him, and she's like, you imbecile, Imagine then she says, Kakune Katsu! And then we see him get wrapped up in this, where we see these 4 kanji just slam against the screens that says Psycho Prison. And it was like Mob Psycho had tried to narrate and come and say, this is one of Psycho's special moves. It was pretty awesome. And she's like, yeah, how do you like them apples? It's like, trying to get out of that. To get out of that over there. He gets out of there. And she says, this is what happens when you train too much. An eye for an eye. A macho for another macho. She's like, I don't know what she does. Her arms just go huge and she's punching at him again. Urie's just, oh my. And then we get a real good look at Urie's Kakuja framing out for him. I don't know what the hell to call this. It looks fucking phenomenal. She did an amazing job designing him. Anyway, so we see them going at it. Urie's about to about to impale, manages to get Psycho, so he goes in for another attack. She dodges it, and and while she's pretty much just aiming for his head, and pretty much just puts him in an embrace where his face lands right in her tits. So, and she says, no, I'm looking, because he was saying, look at me, Sasuke, you shithead, the man was just going crazy, I guess, Urie had some huge beef with Heise or something, I don't know, and she says, I'm looking, I like you, Urie, and we see her smile, and she says some tears in her eyes, so, when she says does she mean that she got a thing for her boy, Urie? Yeah, no, it's weird. I trip it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't know if she means it she actually has a thing for him or just as friends. But whatever the case may be, so that happened. So that's the moment he finally he finally goes back to normal. His Ghoul's eye returned to normal, and he's good. Psycho finally managed to calm down our boy. And then there we see the aftermath of what happened the other awards, what happened there, after they took down the clowns. We then head over to bed till we see Mutsuki. He's still in the hospital bed. Yeah, the man, we get a better look at his hair. Yeah, the man looks like most of his hair gone gray, or at least most of it's losing its color. It's not as vibrantly green as it used to be. I guess Torso did some shit in that cave. I don't know why Mutsuki's hair is like that, because it doesn't seem like he went through that much. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, so we see Fruta, he's holding these flowers, which I think those are actually the same flowers that Urie threw in the trash. So, and then we have her back to this little the stage area where the director is gonna be talking about the new stuff with the new structure that's coming out with the CCG, and we see Fruta come out, and he's wearing one of those disguise glasses that have the nose and the mustache, and on top it says party and lighting up, and I'm like. Fruta is one of those. Is definitely even though he's an asshole, and some of the shit that goes down is, especially later on in the manga from some of the chapters I've read, the man is still entertaining as hell. And he's about we will now focus on getting rid of the rest of the clowns and eradicating all ghouls. Peace on death. And he introduces his new squad where we see these other ghouls, and we see Mutsuki's in there Sweeties, what the hell happened to Mutsuki? Did he hit the gym or something? Because the man looks... The dude's face, I love the new eye patch he has. The man looks like he just hit the gym, and he looks like Jinder Mahal. Then looks buff, he looks his face looks very stern. I'm like, what the hell? This isn't Mutsuki? What the hell happened to you, man? So, like I said, I like his new eye patch he has, and he says, like, you know, these are the new Quink squads, and Urie is like, new Quink squad? What the hell? And then we see these other clowns like go before him, and we see the rest of the Queen concert just decapitate them all, and you know, and then you know after like he says, you know, eradicate all the Ghoul, peace on death, yada yada yada. After a few seconds, everyone bursts into cheers, like yeah, 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 let's kill all the Ghouls, and that is where the episode ends. This episode was fucking amazing. I fucking loved it. Without a doubt, it gets a 10 out of 10. Final verdict. Urie and Saga was just greatness. So was Pluto was there too now. Let's talk about that next episode preview, baby. Okay. Now I recognize a good chunk of those scenes, cause like I said, this is where I started reading the manga with chapter 135. Now, there were a couple scenes I saw in there. I'm actually surprised how fast they're going, but you know, with the scenes that how they happen, I'm not surprised it's all getting down into one episode. Now, that second to last shot. I recognize that place. I recognize that building. I recognize that floor. I recognize that ceiling. I think we're getting it, guys. I think we might actually get chapter 135. I think we might actually get it. I'm crossing my fingers. It looks like we might get it. It looks like it might get adapted. I am not expecting for a one-to-one, you know, adaptation just because of what happens in that chapter. But I hope to God we get it. If like I said, if Attack on Titan can get away with the Rod's Titan form, and you saw whereas intestines were falling and everything, if they can get away with this, I hope to God Peria can get away with this beautiful moment with Token Kaneki. I pray to God that it gets adapted because I need it to get adapted, please. And oh my God, if it gets adapted, the entire TG community will lose their shit. Maybe even Chibi will finally get off his ass and finally talk about the anime and review the episode. I don't know. I want him to because I like his TG videos. Even though most of the time he is kind of like complaining, it's still nice to hear him talk about TG. So I am crossing my fingers that we do get chapter 135 and it does get that because man would I be so happy. I'm thinking about even doing a reaction next episode just because it looks like we might get the chapter, and if we do, you guys are gonna want to see you're gonna just see me lose my shit. So I might do a reaction next week to next week's episode. We'll have to wait and see on that. Anyway, so hope you all enjoyed the video. If you liked your day, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys in a minute. Tomorrow's gonna be quite the eventful day. We got NXT, we got Takeover, we got SAO. Tomorrow's gonna be eventful. Anyway, see you guys next time.